I love that it's nice and long. I'm wearing it in extra small, and it comes longer than my fingertips. I mean, it's there. So when I sit down, I'm sitting on the tunic. When I stand up, I don't have to adjust. It's just there. And these sleeves are super cute. I know we're moving on to the jeans, but if you want the tunic, you do have to be quick because it will sell out. All right, let's move on to the jeans. Another customer pick on hsn.com, and this is your FLEXstretch Denim 5Pocket skinny jeans. And these are from Diane Gilman. I mean, you know, Diane Gilman is the jean queen. This is what she does. And so she's brought along, you know, a few different styles that are now on clearance. This one is your chambray color. Okay, so chambray is always gonna be the light one, the washed one that looks like you've worn it, you know, already and washed it and gotten it just the where you want it to be. Indigo is darker, your darker blue. Still has a little bit of wash right there along the center of the legs. And the reason why designers will do that is because when you bring light to the very middle and then the side of the leg and the inner thigh of the leg is darker, it actually makes the leg look thinner. And so that's why they do. They bring your eye to the center and they fade out the sides. And that's why you see that washed detail. So you have that in indigo. And then we've got it for you in solid white and also in solid black. These are on clearance for $39.95. And these are FLEXstretch, which is that innovative performance denim. You can see that it features a sateen weave, which creates a smooth, uniform surface on your leg. The unique weave allows for more space for the fibers to move and stretch. And so when we talk about FLEXstretch, that is the most stretch from a DG2 jean. These also are woven with spandex, allowing for increased stretch and recovery, because if they stretch but they don't bounce back, then you just have a stretched out pair of jeans. So you want that recovery. And then the garment is treated with silicone wash that creates a soft, luxurious hand feel. And that's what you feel when you wear these. They don't feel like traditional, like a rough denim fabric. Can you do that with your skinnies right now? Can you sit cross-legged on the ground if you had to, or some equivalent version of that? The fact that these are extremely soft to the touch. These are the kind of jeans that don't feel like jeans. They don't wear like jeans. They don't perform like traditional jeans, because traditional jeans, you wouldn't have all of this stretch. You know, it used to be that if you wanted a jean that was kind of fitted to your body, it had to be so tight that you could barely get them on. And don't have to like go to the bathroom, don't have to eat, don't have to sit down, because it's not gonna happen in those. But those were the jeans that we grew up with. Everything's gotten better. Innovation and technology has really come into every part of our lives, including our fashion, and it makes fashion more comfortable. It's so funny when I watch old movies. I love old movies, but I watch old movies. I love to see the way the women dressed, but all I can think was, yeah, they looked good, but they were very uncomfortable, because there was no stretch in those clothes and they were all polyester. And they were what they were. But now we have stretch, we have bounce, we have movement, and we have clothes that conform to the way we want to feel and the way that we live every day. And that's what DG2's FLEXstretch and their super stretch and everything was about. It wasn't enough to just have a jean that fit well around the waist and around the hips. Diane, you know, she got your feedback. She said, you know, and even with her, she lives in her jeans. She travels. She takes her plane flights in jeans. And she said she needed a jean that was super comfortable and had that stretch, and you can sit in for hours and hours at a time if you need to. Meaning if you're sitting at your desk in front of a computer for a long time. If you're sitting in your car, driving and commuting for a long time. If you're on an airplane and who knows how long you're gonna be in that seat. You know, it was supposed to be an hour flight, but the hour flight took 2.5 hours. And you're sitting there, you need something that's gonna work with you, and that FLEXstretch really does. And it gives you the most stretch ever. Now, the thing about FLEXstretch, it is a lighter jean. So if you're somebody who likes a thick, heavy jean, then this one is not for you. If you're somebody who says, I like a lighter jean because I don't like anything that's gonna be stiff on me and heavy on me and scratchy on me, then try the FLEXstretch. And definitely try it. And I say that too because maybe you're saying, okay, I've got a closet full of DG2s, it's all I wear, I know which ones I like, and that's it. But you've never tried these. I recognize that if these were the regular HSN price, you might say, okay, I'll stick with what I got. But you're hearing about FLEXstretch. You're seeing how they stretch. You saw that animation to show you what makes these different from just your basic jean. And now you might be a little curious. Well, let the clearance price help you solve that curiosity. You're not spending a regular $59.90 on these jeans. You've got them on 3 flex payments of $13.32. And like I said, if you know, the fact that you can sit cross legs or whatever version that would be for you, whether you can sit with your legs crossed, even if it's, you know, on a sofa or on a chair, in a car, if you can sit and bend for long periods of time. If when you drop something, you're not thinking, oh gosh, now I have to bend down and get it up, pick it up, because you can easily do that in your jeans. If you live in jeans and you're saying, but I wish my jeans were as comfortable as my leggings. I can't wear my leggings all the time, but I want something that kind of gives me the comfort of that way, then try this. These are revolutionary. These are, you know, innovative in their stretch. And look at that. Most of us won't be doing the grand battement. We will not be doing the fan kicks or the, you know, the split leaps and all of that. But isn't it nice to know that you can? You know, when you have the freedom of movement, and that is the philosophy around FLEXstretch. It's that freedom of movement, which before, freedom of movement and jeans did not go hand in hand. Now they do. And I like that you can try these. You're trying them for $13.32. And if you don't like them, no worries. You've got an unconditional money back guarantee. Even on clearance, which is very different from what you see when you go out into most other stores. You buy something on a clearance price and they mark your receipt with a red stamp that says final sale, no return. And there's something about that no return. When somebody says that to you, you instantly feel like a little buyer's remorse. Like, uh-oh, well, what if I need to return? What if it's not the right size? What if it's not the right color? What if whatever? But when they say, you know, say final sale, that's the end. We don't do that. There's no such thing as final sale. You always have an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee when you shop at HSN, even if it's on clearance, even if it was 80% off. You know, it doesn't matter. You need to like it. And if you don't, pop it in the box and send it right on back, no questions asked. We make it easy to shop. And I hope that you've noticed, if you've been out to the malls over the last, you know, maybe few weeks, I hope that you have noticed that HSN really is the easiest place to shop, because those malls aren't, you don't need to fight for a parking spot when you're shopping at HSN. And you can shop anytime, like in the middle of the night, like with us right now. This is chambray. And this is gonna be the lightest, the lighter of the 2 blues that you have. This one is indigo, so this one is the darker one. And you'll notice too, you do have your actual 5 pockets, you know, 3 right there on the front, 2 on the back. You don't have any contrast stitching. It's all one solid look. You don't have a whole lot of, I call them bells and whistles. You don't have a whole lot of stuff on your jeans. And I think, you know, for most of us, we don't want all of that stuff. We just want a great fitting jean. We don't need to have a whole lot of extra going on. Here is the white that you've got right there, which is a beautiful clean white. And in the white, you can really see that sateen weave that you were seeing in the animation there with what makes these a little bit different. And you can see that they're in the white, and you can also have your option to pick these up in black as well. Now remember, these are a lighter jean, meaning a lighter weight in a jean. So if for you that's important because you get hot, you get uncomfortable, and you do want something that's a lighter weight and a kind of a softer hand feel, you have it right here. If you like a heavier jean or a thicker jean, then try one of the other DG2 jeans that we have for you. You could even try the super stretch, which is a little bit heavier, or the traditional Diane Gilman jean, which is a little bit heavier. But this one is a lighter weight, and it is made to do that. Stretch and recover, stretch and bounce back. Because if it didn't bounce back and it would just stretch out of shape, then it would be baggy and saggy, and it wouldn't fit right. You put it on, and every time you move, it would stretch, and then, you know, by half the day, the knees are baggy, the behind is baggy, the waist is baggy, and it wouldn't be what it is. This is your freedom of movement like this. We show this to you as an extreme way in terms of freedom of movement, because most of us are not gonna do that. But it's nice to know that you can in those jeans. Because as she's a professional ballerina that you had right there. No matter how great she is, if she couldn't stretch and move in the jeans, she wouldn't have been able to do a single one of those moves. She'd say, no, I might pull a muscle trying to do that if my jeans are too tight. But with these, you can see you have all of that freedom of movement. You've got them on a clearance price. So if you've never tried the FLEXstretch and you're thinking, you know what, you know what, even if I just have one pair in my closet, even if it's just that one pair, that when I know I need super comfort, I've got them, why not have that one pair? Because you have them in all of your basic colors. You're not having them in the wild colors. They come to you in the chambray, indigo, black, or white. Your choice. And enjoy those, and I know that you will, okay? So enjoy that, all from DG2, and all on clearance.